If I go
wide.
If I go wide, it sees it. But then
That's okay.
I feel like close-up's better.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good.
So good to be here.
Thank you for taking the time to come and see me
Especially
today.
after this morning.
Questions.
This morning was really great.
Was it good?
I had so much fun. I wouldn't even imagine before that I would be dancing at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Let alone, let alone having fun.
Yeah, I saw you guys. It was a lot of fun.
It was really good.
Yeah. Did we do the same workout this morning?
We did.
Yes.
We did.
We did. Side of the room.
We're on different sides of the rooms, yeah.
Very interesting. So, Vincent, let's talk.
Let's talk. I am ready.
Okay, excellent. So just wondering, what were you doing for fitness before you joined BFT? Oh, let's start again. Hang on. It's actually not bad.
One more?
Yeah, you actually don't see it, which is quite good. So Vincent, what were you doing for fitness before you joined BFT?
Before I joined BFT, I pretty much just walk, a little bit of running, a little bit of free weights at home. And I'm not someone who actually very particular when it comes to my fitness. I know that I have to do my 10,000 steps every day. I know that I eat well. I have a PhD in human molecular nutrition, so I know what I put into my body. But at the same time, I also know that training based on a scientific method and approach can actually elevate that fitness to the point where you can perform well, you function really well, not only physically but also mentally and psychologically.
Yeah. Excellent. And what almost stopped you from joining?
Say that again.
What almost stopped you from joining?
Almost stopped me from joining. I'm not someone who likes to train indoors. Actually, I'm not someone who likes to train at all based on a very rigid, sort of kind of non-flexible training routine. And I have to say that at first, when I look into BFT, I thought that it is going to be something like I didn't like in the past, in the way that you have to do certain things in a certain way with a certain reps with a certain people. I like to do my own things. However, I am also someone who is always very honest when it comes to admitting that I'm wrong. And I was wrong with my first impression or what I thought BFT was all about. I really do think that being a scientist, the scientific approach to maximizing your training is the big appeal when it comes to waking up every day. Because as you would know, health and wellness is not just about that one or two perfect moments. It's about consistency. And I always say that if you can't do something consistently, then don't even start.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think changed your mind? You were saying that you felt that over that time training indoors, what things within these four walls are essentially converting Vincent to the BFT way?
I think seeing and experiencing is believing. You have to be willing to give it a go. And I do think that that trial pack of 7 sessions with pretty much very low price is something of a door opening for me, because I got the chance to come here, to meet you, to meet all the coaches, but more importantly, to feel good in what I'm doing. I do believe that when people try it out for at least 3 or 4 sessions, they will find out that it is different from just a group workout.
Yeah, for sure. And how did you feel before your first session? When you were walking in, what was you feeling?
I'm always very happy. I'm always someone who has a lot of confidence in myself when it comes to everything in life, including training. Not saying that I'm good at everything, and certainly not in terms of physical training, but I always have a positive outlook to new things that I try. And I am really happy that everybody's attitude in this studio is just that. We're so aligned in terms of energy, in terms of mood, in terms of, I think the coaches, including yourself, you all have a very good reading on people and members when it comes to whether to push them hard, whether to use tough love, or whether to use a motivational approach when it comes to increasing the output every morning. I always come here 6:15. I know that for people who know me, they probably wouldn't believe it that I would even be awake at that time. But at the same time, it makes my day a lot more productive. I know it's funny, right? When people say that you work out in the morning, aren't you going to be tired during the day? But no, because scientifically we know that the first metabolic rate that your body registers in the morning determines the energy level throughout the day. And having that strong early start really helps me in terms of my business, my energy level, my mood. I'm a lot happier, even happier than I used to be. So yeah.
Yeah, and let's talk about outside of fitness.
Yes.
What gets you out of bed to get here at 6:15?
Outside of fitness, nothing gets me out of bed at 6:15 because we recently just launched our brand in the US. So I'm currently working 3 time zones. So the West Coast US, obviously here in Sydney, Australia, as well as the Midwest. So pretty much work keeps me awake. And in the morning, I am so glad that I'm part of this BFT Mascot family because as if I don't need any reason to wake up happy, this group workout and seeing people, I have my own little group within the big group and challenging each other, being that 1%, 2% better than I was the week before. I think that really helps in terms of me achieving things, not only in fitness, but also in my work, in my family life, because I have to say that I don't care when people say that, oh, I'm not competitive. Each and every one of us is competitive. And we should be, because we always strive to be better. I read this really good quote the other day that you shouldn't be loyal to your past, you should be loyal to your future. Yeah. And a lot of people, including myself, thought that if only I started my fitness journey earlier, if only I became a lot more consistent with training earlier. But I can't change the past. What I can change is my present and my future. Yeah. So the perfect, most appropriate time for anyone who wants to start their fitness journey, their health journey, is right now.
For sure. And it's interesting because you talk about, the beautiful community, and I find it amazing the impact that you've made in such a short period of time as well. You've been here for a couple of months, and within that time you went away for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And you walked in the door, and I heard the coaches cheer, and I heard some members cheer, and I was like, who's just walked in? And I was like, oh, Kai's back. And it was just so nice that within, 4 or 5 weeks of them getting to know you, they just missed you so much. And it's a true testament of first yourself, but secondly, the community here and the love we have for one another.
I think community and that sense of belonging, right? This is something that is a little bit ironic because in the era of connectiveness and connectivity, a lot of us can feel a little bit lonely. And I am very, very fortunate that I have a very rich life. However, it doesn't mean that being a part of a community this nice is not an appeal, because community is a two-way street. I get as much as I like from them, and I think, and I hope this is true, I also give out in terms of energy, jokes, and laughter, because sometimes when Coach Eddie is trying to make you do burpees after finishing a very hard exercise, you can't do anything but laugh. And I really like it because it's not about you failing when you can't do it. It's about seeing and believing how much better you are today than you are even yesterday or the week before. And I like the approach. It is not about telling you that you can't do things, or I'm so sorry you're not strong enough, or that, oh, how come you're this big, you're a big guy, you can't do 20 kilograms or 25 kilograms. It's nothing like that. Yeah. It's about seeing what your body can do. And I really do think that it helps your mental mindset to believe that you can achieve other things in life.
Yeah, for sure. And in a time of online, where we can get online coaches, online everything at the tip of our fingers, it's pretty amazing that I think one of Coach Eddie's superpowers is getting his best out of everybody.
Except for during cardio day. The best thing that happens during cardio day is that Eddie is not in.
Although I've seen you get a high heart rate when he is here.
I know. I don't know what it is from screen, but no, I really love the approach of the coaches, because I think that it's not, you were talking about online community, and that some people who can be consistent and who get as much as they can from that kind of, or that style of training, that's great. However, there is a human aspect, there's an art to approaching training from the perspective of coaches. I used to be a lecturer, so I know that seeing my students through Zoom or in person, they are two very different things. And obviously, you need to adapt to different style. However, one of the things that I really like that I didn't find in other coaches outside this BFT Mascot before was that everyone seems to really find the time and invest that care and attention to different members.
Yeah.
They know exactly how to push me, for example, or how to push other members, because some of us may have different style, but we all are working towards the same fitness goal.
Yeah. And speaking of goals, like, what is your goal? Like, when you first signed up, what did you have in mind that you wanted to achieve?
I just love to sweat. I love to be active. I don't think that I have a specific goal in terms of health and fitness, because I'm very lucky. I walk a lot, and my body responds really well to 10,000, 12,000 steps every day.
Yeah.
So I think I'm pretty lean, and I'm pretty energized during the day. However, this is the magic thing that you and your team are doing to me, is that when you think that you can achieve more, that's great. But what's even more magical is that when you think that you're perfectly fine and you discover you can be more.
Yeah.
And I think I'm still very impressed, because the unlocking of the next level is, I think, you guys' superpower.
Yeah. And it's also in our progressions. So
Yes.
naturally, every week is going to get more and more challenging over 8 weeks.
And one thing that I have to say as a scientist, I have to say that one thing that is not being talked about often or often enough is that it's so interesting and so smart that the same program that is for everyone can be tailored to every single members depending on what they want to achieve in their fitness goal, as well as their current fitness ability. Because I have seen modification in the same exercise that suit people with certain limitation. Maybe they are recovering from their injury, or maybe for people, Johnny, when we know that he can achieve more, and at first I thought that, oh, this is going to be so easy or walk in the park for him, but then just that little modification that is methodologically done, I think that it helps everyone with that mindset that, oh, I don't like group fitness because I'm ahead of other people, or that I don't like group fitness because I will fall behind.
Oh, I've seen Johnny jump on 2 boxes.
I know. That's
He's
why
up boxes before.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That even for someone who is like at the peak fitness level like Johnny, I still see him, having to exert the extra amount of energy when he wants to do something and achieve something that probably the rest of us, not going to be able to do.
So let's tell me, what's one of the things that you're most proud of, or one of the results you're most proud of that you've achieved since being here at BFT?
Consistency. I have to say that not every day that I come here with 110% energy, I'm always very happy, but there are times when I just couldn't do another 30 seconds of aerobic exercise. That's fine, but I'm here. And I truly believe that it's not just a saying that I say to people like the members, my teammates here. I really do believe that the fact that you are here, you get out of bed at 6 o'clock to be here at 6:15, that is 50% of the job. Because you could easily stay in bed and say, let me do it the next day, let me skip today. So I'm very, very proud of not only myself, but my crew here that show up every day, or whatever it is that they commit to do. Because like I said, consistency is king when it comes to health.
Let's talk, okay, so we talk about our cardio sessions and how much hard work they are, but let's talk about our strength sessions. I've seen you progress like pretty dramatically in your strength sessions and your technique and your abilities, like to watch you lifting your weights and getting stronger. Talk to me about that. Like, have you noticed anything within yourself?
I have to say that unlocking the next level is something that I didn't expect, nor did I know that I wanted it before. But at the same time, it also gives me a lot of the extra confidence in the way that, so to give you a little bit of context, I just came back from National Product Expo West, which is the biggest health a natural product expo in the world. So there were like 100,000 attendees. I clock in probably 22,000 steps every day. But what I'm getting at is that unlike last year and the year before, because this year is my third year being there, I didn't actually get tired comes 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, having started at like 6 a.m.
Right.
So I feel that if we're looking at, because this is the biggest event in my industry, if we're looking that event as our industry's Olympics, without knowing, I have been training for my Olympics. And I do think that not only the cardio, but that strength, that core, that activation of your every single muscles really helped me to stay energized. And I do think that there's an element to the approach that the coaches, as well as the BFT studio in general, that we're not training like a bodybuilder, because not everyone wants to be a bodybuilder. We're training every single part of the muscle that probably when you are not aware of it, you don't know the benefits of training those muscle groups.
We're training like an athlete.
Yes. And
so you talk about Olympics, you're an athlete. That's where we're at.
Yes, that is actually a really great analogy, because an athlete, people probably only think an athlete is just something that is, doing sports, the sports people. But I think to have the energy, to have the ability and confidence in achieving things in your family life, your work life, your social life, I do think that the foundational aspect is health. And a big part of that health aspect is your physicality.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that was one of my next questions, is what's different in your day-to-day life now, but I think we've got there. So what makes BFT different from anything else you've tried before?
I know that this is going to sound really funny, and it has nothing to do with your program, no disrespect.
No.
It has nothing to do with your studio and coaches, no offense. Well, the coaches are part of my answer, but the difference is that the people, the community, that happiness and joy that I feel when I enter the studio. I mean, if you asked me 3 months ago, you would be this happy and joyful stepping into a gym, I would say, you're lying. But you know me personally too, so you do know that it makes me really happy to be here. And I do think that it's the people and the community, the sense of belonging to a group that it's not only welcoming but encouraging, because not every day you want to be able to score high in terms of your heart rate and stuff like that. But having the people that say that, come on, you can do it, or one more, that means a lot.
Yeah. And what I find is it's such a diverse group of people as well. Like,
I know,
we wouldn't just generally meet in our normal walk of life.
I know, and I read this the other day that a lot of people say that, how do you make friends as adults?
Yeah.
Join BFT Mascot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's so true, right?
Yeah.
Who would you recommend BFT to?
Everyone. I've been recommending it to everyone. I'm fairly active on social media. And the thing about social media is because it's so visual, right? People have been asking what have I done differently. I actually did a pull-up challenge by another brand, and I can't mention it. No. Let me just do it again. I actually did a pull-up challenge hosted by another brand. However, I obliterated the scoreboard, and at that point, if you remember this, I had just been training here for 4 weeks, and that goes a lot in saying that you're training like an athlete, because there were a lot of people who looked like they were stronger, but without realizing it, I became stronger. I am becoming stronger every day, and that is not just about vanity. It's mostly about health. Because, sometimes people think that going to the gym is just to look good. And that is a big part of that. Because I do believe that looking good is part of feeling good. However, there's so much more than that. There's also training. There's also personal achievement. And I know that you work really hard to incorporate a lot of studies and seminars and workshop by different people that come into the studio and teach us different things, supplements, health, nutrition. And I think this comprehensive approach to the studio is something that I haven't seen in other studios before.
Oh, good to hear. Final question, we ask everyone this. Sorry, I've just gone blank. Final question, we ask everybody this. So if there was someone out there that's where you were when you first started, what advice would you give them?
Give it a go. It's not about one day, it's about day one. It doesn't matter whether you come here and you're feeling like you can't lift even a 5 kilogram weight. It doesn't matter, because we always do believe that, if we can't do something, we don't want to try doing it. Scratch that belief, just give it a go, instead of saying that I'll wait till the new year, I'll wait till I turn 40 or 30 or whatever it is that you're waiting for. Stop waiting for your one day, make tomorrow your day one.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to ask any questions or do anything for your content?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yes.
We can tap it in and then
I already have it.
Okay, cool. Very good. That was good.
Thank you.